A dark money group is secretly funding high-profile Democratic influencers. This is probably going to be some kind of hit piece. The fund distributed more than $400 million, according to the organization's public tax filing. Conveniently not linking the tax form, which shows a group she's associated with took money from them. It is very aggressively trying to call out Democrats with no criticisms on Republicans in any meaningful capacity.
The 1630 fund, which funds your cohort. Here it is.
The LLC that I'm part of has not accepted any money from the 1630 fund.
We just started the screen!
You're lying in your video, and I know that you use this like intonation that makes people trust you because you're an influencer.
She is so desperate to be an influencer. She wants to criticize influencers. This content strategy will not work for you as you try to desperately become a content creator as you're pushing 50 years old. All right, let's get this going. This was interesting. Right before I got on the stream, somebody sent me a bunch of stuff, and I started kind of looking through it offline. I'm like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Basically, Taylor Lorenz wrote this article about a Democrat dark money group secretly funding high-profile Democrat influencers. Ooh. And I want to take a look at, as much of the information as I can. But one of the biggest things that I'm interested in here is that, like, a dark money group basically doesn't have to disclose who they get funding from. And I think they don't have to disclose who they give funding to. Republicans historically have outnumbered Democrats, like, significantly in the use of dark money, like 4-1. I believe Democrats even wanted to ban dark money. Yeah, they're consistently taking steps to try to, like, restrict and ban dark money. Republicans fucking dominate this, but, like, recently, Democrats are like, fuck it, we gotta, we gotta play a little bit dirty. And so the reason I bring that up is because if that context isn't stated, then this is really just some kind of weird, like, Democrat hit piece. That being said, Taylor Lorenz apparently belongs to a group called the, I can't pronounce this, Omidar Network, that got money from the 1630 dark money group that she criticizes in her, I believe she criticizes it here. So to some degree, she gets dark money. So it's kind of funny. I started here. This is what I first listened to. So let's start with this post.
The point is that none of them disclosed that they were receiving money from a dark money group, the 1630 fund. None of them have ever disclosed, as far as I've ever seen, their relationship with the 1630 fund. And that is the crux of it. Chorus is just the middleman. They're just running the program. The 1630 fund is the powerful dark money group that is funding this effort. And so,
do you know what's just so crazy about this, Tay-Tay? We haven't seen your financial disclosure about accepting money from this exact same fund, the 1630 fund, which funds your cohort that you are accepting, get this, audience, $8,000 a month from. Isn't that fucking crazy? Here it is, right here. This is the place.
Yeah, dark money Tay-Tay, guys.
That pays you.
This is the same thing that's like here, right here. This is the 1630. They're stating that they give to this network. I don't believe that the network says that it's getting. And this is from 2022, by the way. So we don't even have 2023 or 4 as disclosure. So it's kind of a problem.
1630. That's you accepting dark money, right? I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding, right? I'm just a massive fuck. We're all just so dumb that we just fucking missed this. It's almost like you as a creator were not privy to every single financial line item of the people paying you. It's almost as if, Taylor, I've hesitated to make this fucking video because the material harm that this is doing, this dumb dick conversation, but it is worth mentioning that this dark money that you are rallying so hard against also funds climate change orgs and voter rights organizations and abortion rights protections. And also, not for nothing, reporter residencies, of which you are a beneficiary, Taylor. Sorry.
Again, I think that the biggest thing is that Democrats have made pretty explicit efforts to try to limit and ban dark money. Historically, Republicans have dominated the use of dark money organizations. And that's the real criticism, is that, like, Democrats seem to be getting down and dirty because Republicans have been, and Republicans refuse to ban dark money. And so, like, I want to see if she reports on that. That's the biggest issue to me. Dark money sounds really sketchy, you know? That's a huge problem. It should be banned. Republicans aren't interested in any type of limitation on it. Democrats are. Did Taylor let us know of that? I don't know. We're going to read her article, and we'll find out. What I find interesting here is that on Threads, she says the, Omidar, this fucking network has responded to the baseless lies and smear campaign. right? So the network receives no funding for the reporters in the residence program via the 1630 fund or any other outside source. What's funny about this is that they're saying that they don't, the response of this network that receives dark money, shown right here, is that they didn't get it explicitly for Taylor Lorenz's group. I know, we know how to read through bullshit lawyer talk, okay? It's so funny. But let's read her article, man. Let's give her a fair shake. Maybe she gives the full context in here, and then we're going to have to actually fucking defend her. That's life. A dark money group is secretly funding high-profile Democratic influencers, an initiative aimed at boosting Democrats online. Offers influencers up to $8K a month to push the party line. All they have to do is keep it secret and agree to restrictions for their content. Let's hope that we bring up Republicans. In a private group chat in June, dozens of Democratic political influencers discussed whether to take advantage of an enticing opportunity. They were being offered $8,000 per month to take part in a secretive program aimed at bolstering Democratic messaging on the internet. But the contract sent into them from Chorus, the nonprofit arm for a liberal influencer marketing platform, came with some strings. Among other issues, it mandated extensive secrecy about disclosing their payment and had restrictions on what sort of political content the creators could produce. In their group chat, oh, dude, this is a nice ring, by the way. This is the ring I got from my wife. It's like $400, I think. Guys, do not break the $500. Don't break the fucking bank. Okay, don't break the fucking bank on an engagement gift. All right, it doesn't matter. You guys don't need to flex. All right, it's a nice ring. Let's see. They debate in the group chat. The influencers debated details. Should we send a joint email with all of our email addresses, or are we just going to send things separately and hope they change everything for everyone? Lorenzo, a non-binary creator in Columbus, Ohio, with over 884,000 TikTok followers. I've never heard of this person. Oh, I've never seen who they were before. Okay, God bless. Asked the group. Some joked about collective bargaining. Any Newsies fans here? Elsa Orleans, a public defender and reality TV star known for her appearances on Survivor, posted in the group, "We're a union just by saying so." Okay, cool. The influencers in the chat collectively had at least 13 million followers across social platforms. They represented some of the most well-known voices online posting in support of Democrats, and they're key to wherever the party moves next. But ultimately, the group didn't make much progress. Reading through this revised Chorus contract, like you win some, you lose some, a reproductive justice influencer named Pari, who posted under the handle Women in America. All right. Damn. How the fuck are these guys getting all this money doing fucking nothing? What the fuck? Responded late in the thread. I also think there's at least 4 other things that should change. But the vibe I got from their email was that there would be minimal, if any, changes. Okay. I don't feel strongly about pushing TBH. Aaron Parnes, a Gen Z news influencer who has been called the Gen Z Walter Cronkite. Oh, this guy's... Okay, he's not bad. He's just weird to me. Okay. And has been lauded in legacy media outlets. Posted the chat. They aren't going to modify it anymore. Seems like it's a take it or leave it. Okay. I believe we are in stage 5 acceptance, Pari responded. Creators begin signing the deal. All right, so what exactly are all the restrictions here? Other than you can't talk about it? Because it seems like they're going back and forth about the specifics. So what's the contract? I wish we knew more specifics to see how, like, potentially bad this was. Yeah. For years, Democrats have struggled to work with influencers. In 2024, President Joe... this article is really bothering me because I really feel like they should have brought up how much Republicans use dark money, like, in the beginning. And I think that this is probably going to be some kind of hit piece. For years, Democrats have struggled to work with influencers. In 2024, President Joe Biden's White House snubbed several prominent content creators after they lightly criticized the administration over its policies on climate change, COVID, Gaza, and the TikTok ban. Okay, well, I'm not going to buy that. Content creators who challenged Kamala Harris, including Hassan Piker, a well-known influencer on the left, were similarly unwelcomed at campaign events. After the Democrats lost in November... Well, let's be honest, like, there are a lot of instances where some of these influencers are more interested in criticizing, like, Kamala Harris than like Donald Trump, it seems, in some instances. It's very strange. Like, I understand criticisms are, we should give criticisms, but, when you have Hassan saying things like, Kamala would have been the same with Gaza than Trump, I think that that's, like, insane, right? But okay. I don't know if the criticisms were light. I don't know if these these criticisms were light criticism. Lightly criticized. I don't know. I wonder how light they were. Yeah, so apparently Hassan used to call Joe Biden Genocide Joe. So I'm thinking that might be a little more than a light criticism, but we do know that Taylor likes Hassan quite a bit. Light criticism, genocidal Joe? What the fuck? Okay. After Democrats lost in November, they faced a reckoning. It was clear that the party had failed to successfully navigate the new media landscape. Maybe. It was just like kind of a turbulent time in general. I don't know. I mean, based on the circumstances, I don't know if there's much that could have been done. While Republicans spent decades building a powerful and robust independent media infrastructure, maximizing controversy to drive attention and maintaining tight relationships with creators due to their small disagreements with Trump, the Democrats have largely relied on outdated strategies in traditional media. I don't like this one either because... I don't like this either. See, this is the problem with Taylor Lorenz's article, is it is very aggressively trying to call out like Democrats with no criticisms on Republicans in any meaningful capacity. Because, like, why not? This is a great time to mention that, like, what is it, Tenet Media? Is Tenet Media the dark money organization? I think you could call them. Yeah, dark money group. Yeah, Tenet Media was a dark money group that they were sending millions of dollars to people like Tim Pool to push Russian disinformation. And this would be the specific time in the article that you would bring that up. But this has no interest in even talking about dark money from Republicans. This article is disgusting so far. Maybe she'll mention them later, but this should have been mentioned on the dot in the beginning. This is pretty gross shit. Now Democrats hope that the secretive Chorus Creator Incubator Program, funded by a powerful liberal dark money group called the 1630 Fund, might tip the scales. Okay, but why would they think that unless... Dude, this article is pathetic and disgusting. The program kicked off last month, and creators involved were told by Chorus that over 90 million influencers were set to take part. Creator told Wired that the contract stipulated that they'd be kicked out and essentially cut off financially if they even so much as acknowledged that they were part of the program. Some creators also raised concerns about a slew of restrictive clauses in the contract. Like what? What the fuck? Hey, what's wrong with dark money? You racist, Taylor? Influencers included in a communication about the program, and in some cases an onboarding session for those who received payments from the 1630 Fund, include Olivia Juliana, the centrist Gen Z influencer who spoke at the 2024 DNC. Why didn't you link her like everyone else? I don't know. Why doesn't she link any of these people? Lauren Pretra, a former Playboy executive turned political influencer who hosts a podcast for Occupy Democrats. Barrett Adair. What the hell? A content creator who runs an American Girl doll themed pro DNC meme account, Susan Lambert, who called herself a Regina George liberal, Ariel Fodor, an education creator with 1.4 million followers on TikTok, Sander Jennings, a former TLC reality star and older brother of trans influencers Jazz Jennings, David Pakman, who hosts an independent progressive show on YouTube covering news and politics, Leah McGowan, who goes by the online moniker Politics Girl, and dozens of others. The first two declined comment, and the rest did not respond for comment. Oh, that's why. That's why she didn't add them in there, because they wouldn't respond for comment for her. According to copies of the contract viewed by Wired that creators signed, the influencers are not allowed to disclose their relationship with Chorus or 1630 Fund, or functionally that they're being paid at all. Interesting. Oh, I wonder if these people potentially were part of the fund, and that's why they didn't want to talk about it. Dozens of liberal influencers are believed to have been approached by Chorus about 1630 Fund financing opportunity this spring. They were told that Chorus appreciated the work that they were doing online and were asked if they'd be interested in part of the first cohort of the new program that Chorus was running to help expand their reach and impact. Creators tell Wired. Whoa. Incredible. But following the initial outreach, many creators expressed concern about some stipulations. According to copies of the contract viewed by Wired, creators in the program must funnel all bookings with lawmakers and political leaders through Chorus. Creators also have to loop the... Yeah, it sounds like they want to vet who the person is talking to. Sure. Creators also have to loop Chorus in on any independently organized engagements with government officials or political leaders. If I want to work with another politician, I have to fully collaborate with them, said one creator who was offered the contract but ultimately declined to take it and asked not to be named. If I get Zoran and he wanted to do an interview with me, I don't want to give that to them. Oh, they had to give it. What? What does that mean, give it to them? Like, you don't want to have to get their permission? Okay, that's fine. Creators in this program are not allowed to use any funds or resources that they receive as part of the program to make content that supports or opposes any political candidate or campaign without express authorization from Chorus in advance and writing, per the contract. The contract reviewed by Wired prohibits standard partnership discloses, declaring that creators will not publicize their relationship with Chorus or tell others that they're members of the program without Chorus's prior express consent. A screenshot from a slideshow was shared with Wired following this article's publication by Graham Wilson. I'm surprised it took him this long to get this out, if like a bunch of people denied it. Yeah, why don't Democrats try and listen and work with influential commentators, and then they do this and they still get lambasted? Well, this is the thing. I mean, dark money is sketchy, but like Taylor Lorenz clearly is more interested in just shitting on something left-leaning instead of actually being like an intelligent person. She's being a bitch here because she's not talking about Republicans' usage of dark money historically. A lawyer working with Chorus that offers several talking points if a member of the cohort wanted to discuss Chorus publicly. They also forbid creators from disclosing the identity of any funder and give Chorus the ability to force creators to remove or correct content based solely on the organization's discretion if that content was made at a Chorus organized event. There are some real great advantages to housing this program in a nonprofit, Wilson said to creators on a Zoom call reviewed by Wired. It gives us the ability to raise money from donors. It also, with this structure, it avoids a lot of public disclosure or public disclaimers, you know, paid for by blah, 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 that you see on political ads. We don't need to deal with any of that. Your names aren't showing up like reports filed with the FEC. Wilson did not reply to a request for comment before the article was published. The Federal Election Commission declined to comment. The goal of Chorus, according to fundraising deck obtained by Wired, is to build a new infrastructure to fund independent progressive voices online at scale. The creators who joined the incubator are expected to attend regular advocacy trainings and daily messaging check-ins. Those check-ins are led by Cohen on rapid response days. The creators also have to attend at least 2 Chorus newsroom events per month, which are events Chorus plans, often with lawmakers. Okay. Do they have to like show up in person? Fuck, man. That's a lot of movement back there. Elizabeth Dubois, an assistant professor and university research chair in politics, communication, and technology at the University of Ottawa, who has researched the ways influencers are reshaping the U.S. political system, says that we are seeing influencers being pulled into these dark campaigns or shadow campaigns where the legal aspect is murky at best. Sometimes it is actually clear that influencers are being used to, for example, evade spending limits, she says. I think that we need to remember that for democracy to thrive, we do need transparency around who is paying for political messages. I mean, I tend to agree, sure. Don Heiter, the chief executive of Marcola Center for Applied Ethics at Santa Clara University, says that outlined restrictions violate ethical norms. If the contract for getting money from a particular interest group says you can't disclose it, then it's pretty simple. You can't take the money, he says. We're living in an era where a lot of powerful people have basically taken the rulebook and thrown it out the window. Wilson maintained in a post-publication email that creators are free to work with other groups or take on other partnerships outside the Chorus program. Okay, so creators are free to work with other groups. Or take on other partnerships outside the Chorus program and say whatever they want as part of that work or on their own. Keith Edwards, a Democratic content creator, why do they feature him but not other people? It's just very confusing to me. I don't quite understand that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Who has skyrocketed to fame on YouTube since starting his channel last year, was not invited to be part of the program, but believes that the way it was structured seems predatory. Okay. He says that he would never agree to take part in a program that was run in secret or wouldn't allow him to disclose funding. What I don't understand is Why wouldn't you just donate to creators directly who have already built something and just need to put gasoline on the fire, says Edwards. Democrats at least understand that the internet exists now, so that's good. But they still think influencers are just there to do a terrible direct-to-camera interview that no one watches rather than just treating us like another form of media. The influencers offered the funding were given just days to sign the contract, which was essentially presented on a take-it-or-leave-it basis. At least one, I mean, that makes sense since most of the creators that they invited aren't exactly massively like huge, like they're, you know what I mean, like they're not like fucking superstars. At least one cohort was specifically told that they could not have their lawyers redline it. What does redlining it mean? It just means like editing it or trying to change the contract. That's literally it. In the group chat formed to discuss contract negotiations, some creators discussed a clause prohibiting the disparagement of other creators. Not being able to criticize anyone else affiliated with Chorus felt restrictive to some. Okay. So it was a clause prohibiting the disparagement of other creators that are part of Chorus, not just other creators in general. Okay. Not being able to criticize anyone else affiliated with Chorus felt restrictive to some, according to text messages posted in the chat. How'd they even get access to the chat? Eventually, the creators in the group chat agreed to drop the issues they had. I don't think Chorus is out to screw us, Orland's a creator who was offered $8,000 a month. That's fucking crazy. Is that $96,000 per year? That's how these fucking people are getting money, baby. What the fuck? Said in the group chat. Some influencers for Chorus Creator Incubator Program were offered as little as $250 a month, according to one creator who declined to accept the deal, while others were offered membership into the Amplifier cohort, which provides up to $8,000. Oh, so some of them only got like $250. Well, I mean, some of them probably sucked. Hey, fuck it. If you're like a nobody. The 1630. So far, we haven't talked about how Republicans use dark money more than Democrats, or any dark money. This is like a weird, like, if it's like this is like a fucking conservative psyop so far. This is weird. The 1630 Fund has emerged as a powerful funder in Democratic spaces in recent years. Its website notes that issues supported by the organization include economic equality, affordable health care, climate solutions, racial justice, voter access, and other essential social change goals. The organization was founded in 2009 as a liberal response to conservative dark money groups. Oh, there we go. And organizations like the Koch Network. And under Trump, it has soared. Guys, we're halfway in here and we finally brought it up. Could you go into a little bit more detail? In 2018, the 1630 Fund provided $141 million to more than 100 left-leaning causes in order to bolster Democrat support during the midterms. According to a tax filing obtained by Politico, in 2020, the fund distributed more than $400 million, according to the organization's public tax filing, which Politico... What is this? Oh, dude, this is so funny. Wait a minute, hold on. Is this the... What is this? Wait, what? Wait, hold on a second. All right, this is a really big red flag. In 2020, the fund distributed more than $400 million, according to the organization's public tax filings. When you click on it, it brings you to their 2020 filings. From my understanding, the most recent filing that you can actually access is their 2022 filing, which shows that they gave money to this network that Taylor Lorenz works for or is part of. But they used the 2020 filing instead of the 2022 filing intentionally. I wonder if that was on purpose. Were you trying for people to not see that you have some level of affiliation with this dark money group that you're shitting on here? This is funny. All right, something very strange is going on here with the way that Taylor Lorenz... This is something that like is a big red flag to me. I don't know if it's a big red flag to anybody else. But in the article here, she links to the public tax filings of 1630, right? And what comes up is tax filings from calendar year 2020. Okay. If you look at the calendar year 2022, it shows that a group that Taylor Lorenz is associated with took money from this dark money pact as she fucking attacks it without giving us proper context that conservatives have been using this like outnumbering Democrat usage exponentially historically, and that Democrats have tried to restrict and ban this, right? She doesn't give that context, which makes it seem like she's some kind of MAGA psyop. So she shows us 2020, but instead of the most recent filing, that's 2023, which is so strange to me. But then in the 2022 one, it turns out that she's taken money. Well, not her, but things that she's associated with have taken money. So now it makes me feel like, why wouldn't you just show us 2023 unless some other group on here, unless you're associated with some other group on the most recent filing? Like, what? It really feels like she's hiding something. It feels like she's hiding something here. I don't know, man. Something weird's going on here. Something strange is going on here. I don't know. Somebody has to look into this more deeply. What other shit is she associated with? Why would she use 2020? Why in 2020 the fund distributed more than 400 million? Why are you specifically referencing 2020 though? Is that the most amount of money? Okay, I guess if I'm being charitable, the reason is because it says in 2020 the fund distributed more than 400 million. In all the other years, it's like it's under 200 million. So like maybe she found the highest payout year, and then she linked that tax filing. I guess that would make sense. Wait, this is so strange. Hold on a second. In 2020, the fund distributed more than 400 million, according to the organizer's public tax filings, which Politico said were used in efforts to unseat then President Donald Trump and Republicans. Senate majority in 2020, the 1630 fund spent 196 million, backing state ballot measures on abortion rights heading into the midterms. Just 4 donors accounted for close to 2/3 of the funds of his revenue received in 2023. Wait, hold on. Is this worse? Wait, this is worse. The largest donor gave the $50 million. Wait a minute, this is even worse. This woman is fucking idiot. Hold on. Okay, so like I kind of have to retract from before because it looked like she was looking for the most sensationalized version. But notice how in this article, Taylor Lorenz talks about how much money was given in 2020 or by this dark money group 1630. It was $400 million. Then she links the tax filings. Okay, no problem. Then she talks about how much they donate in 2022, which was $196 million. Conveniently not linking the tax form, which shows that a group she's associated with took money from them. Then she talks about the money in 2023 and then links the tax filing, but it's not even the correct tax filing. It's just an article talking about it. This is so sketchy. This part of the article to me suggests that she knew she had some kind of association with this dark money shit, and instead of just admitting that she took money or something from it, or that a group she's associated with took some kind of money from it, she plays this game like she's fucking innocent. This article makes you look like a fucking idiot. It makes you look like you're like complicit. This is so strange. This is fucking embarrassing. Okay, good job, Tay-Tay. The 1630 fund, which is not required to disclose its contributors, has for years been a major funding source for liberal and progressive causes and groups, including those that spent in elections, says Walker Davis, a research director for the open government group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. Though their recent attacks indicate that they have pulled back from the pie-popping sums they raised, well, yeah, because it's 2020 was an election year. No fucking shit. The organization is still one of the top spending political-oriented nonprofits in the country. Sure. Okay. Barely a peep about conservative shit, but okay. Chorus, which is described in contracts reviewed by Wired as a project of the 1630 fund that handles operations for the Creator Program, launched in November 2024 with ties to Good Influence, a for-profit influencer marketing agency aimed at helping content creators connect with social good campaigns. Good Influence was founded in October 2020 by Stuart Paralama, the former communications director for Representative John Yarmouth of Kentucky. Seeing an opportunity after Kamala Harris's loss last November, this dude co-founded Chorus with Democrat influencer Brian Taylor Cohen, who has over 4.6 million subscribers on YouTube, and leads messaging check-ins for the creator cohort on rapid response days. According to the records reviewed by Wired, Chorus claims that its initial creator cohort has a collective audience of more than 40 million followers with more than 100 million weekly viewers, and that the organization has hundreds of creators signed up and ready to amplify messaging. Lumify. Wow. I've spent most of my career researching right-wing media and sounding the alarms about the collapse of our old information environment, Ellie Langford, the director of programming at Chorus, said on a Zoom call with dozens of creators in June. Our political systems haven't been able to figure out a real solution, and I've been really excited to see you all trending the path forward. I deeply, deeply believe that the work you all are doing is what's going to make the difference in supporting and, frankly, what is this? Resucating our democracy. Resuscitating? Is this how you say? Is this how you spell resuscitating, dude? Resuscitating? That's terrible. That just doesn't look right.
Resuscitation.
Really? Resuscitate? I don't know. I feel like there needs to be another C somewhere. RECUS? That's whatever. I don't care. I'm not a word man. Already, creators in the program are creating content together in a new weekly series called Good News Politics. Cool. Look now. Oh, this is an ad paid by Dark Money. Woo, crazy. I guess so is Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, nice. Taylor Lorenz, or at least some degree, it seems. 6 creators in the program shared a collective video running through political wins. Follow these creators, bringing you hope instead of doom scrolling. Okay, gotcha. Resuscitate. While some creators have been eager to work with Chorus, others distrust the organization. This spring, Chorus faced a wave of backlash from prominent content creators. Okay. Whose images were influenced in the firm's fundraising decks without permission. I was included on some of Chorus's decks, like, we have access to V when you do not, said V Safer, a liberal content creator with over 3.5 million followers on TikTok. All right. Oh, I know who that is, yeah. So they worked for the Dark Money program? Okay. Following the publication of this article, Wilson said that there's no record of V being included in any course material, nor being named as part of the effort. The faces of several well-known influencers were featured prominently on the Chorus website beneath a giant donate button. However, users who clicked the button were taken to a fundraising page for Chorus instead of anywhere their dollars would directly go to the creator's feature. Well, yeah, that makes sense. What? Yeah, what? This makes sense. Dark Money is sketchy as fuck, but it makes sense that Chorus would be like, hey, we're working with these people. Donate now. What? I don't understand. This isn't even a criticism. This is worded like it's supposed to be a criticism, but it's not. Why would you expect it to donate to the creator? Go donate to the fucking creator, idiot. I don't understand. Progressive YouTuber and former Media Matters staff Kate something fucking Auschwitz. I don't know. Augabuth? A bug? Dude, you know what, dude? I can't even speak. How do you pronounce this, dude? What the fuck? This is crazy. Oh, Abu Ghazali?
Abu Ghazali.
Abu Ghazali.
Abu Ghazali.
Abu Ghazali.
Abu Ghazala.
Abu Ghazila.
Abu Ghazala.
All right. Anyway, Kat Bug's Life, who's running for Congress in Illinois, was pictured on Chorus's website and included in fundraising decks without her consent. She asked for her image and name to be removed and no longer used for fundraising purposes. Sefer and other content creators have accused Chorus of attempting to establish themselves as a gatekeeper to Democratic political leaders. What we need is for people to invest in independent media, and that doesn't necessarily mean investing in a consulting group that is going to become a middleman for independent media. Okay. Several influencers who doggedly defended Chorus throughout the controversy, including Elizabeth Booker Hudson, a Democratic comedian and content creator on Instagram, and Ali O'Brien, a progressive creator with more than 600,000 followers on TikTok, were involved in membership talks for the highest paid tier in Chorus's new creator incubator program. Houston did not respond to requests for comment. O'Brien declined to comment. Still, some creators heard about the 1630 fund and Chorus funding initiative and applied to join. One creator named Chesco, who goes by whatever the fuck this is, there's so many people, a gay guy, I don't know. Just kidding. Online applied to join the program because he viewed it as an opportunity to get access to people that have funding or backing in actual research that I could use, he says. Ultimately, he wasn't accepted and received an email on June 26th rejecting his application. We are planning to bring more creators into the incubator program in the near future, Chorus wrote. The structure of the program highlighted highlights the vast differences between how Democrats and Republicans attempt to amass online influence. Republicans have spent decades building up powerful independent media ecosystems through right-wing influencer world is far from transparent. Wait, what? The structure of the program highlights the vast differences between how Democrats and Republicans attempt to amass online influence. Republicans have spent decades building up a powerful independent media ecosystem. Though the right-wing influencer world is far from transparent, in September 2024, a federal indictment alleged that Russia state sponsor network RT was covertly providing millions in funding to Tenet Media, a company working with major right-wing influencers, including Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Lauren Southern. In 2024, the National Republican Congressional Committee spent nearly $500,000 on work with Creator Grid, an influencer marketing company whose website says it connects Republican candidates with the internet's most powerful conservative influencers, according to analysis of the campaign finance filings from the Washington Post. I don't understand what this article, what this is trying to say, this paragraph. This is weird to me. I don't understand. Maybe I have to just keep reading, because this seems like it's almost a... Okay, let me just keep reading. Sorry. Steve Buckley, a digital media sociologist in the city St. George's University of London, says that these sorts of programs have been happening in the right wing for ages, but Hyder said that the structure of the 1630 fund raises the question, is it ethical to match the tactics of your opponents? The Democrats appeared to have no real counter to the system. Democrats missed the next generation of media, says Brennan Gahan, co-founder of influencer marketing agency Creator Authority. Historically, they owned Hollywood, but this next generation of influence is digital, and they've miscalculated that. I don't think they feel comfortable in arenas where they lack control. Okay, so this is an update from yesterday. Following the publication of this article, Graham Wilson of the Elias Law Group, whose participation in a Zoom call was reported upon, and who did not respond to Wired's pre-publication email, requested a comment, reached out to Wired on several points. These included whether members of the cohort can publicly talk about working with Chorus and Chorus's connections to good influence, both of which Wired has clarified. We also included comment from Wilson regarding Chorus's, I've been saying that wrong, Chorus's placement restrictions on content and whether vSafer was included. I'm just so confused about something. Yeah, so listen, here's dude, okay. Here's my biggest issue with Taylor Lorenz's article about this dark money group, 1630. It's not even necessarily, I mean, it is an issue, but it's not even necessarily that she's working with a group that got money from this dark media organization. It's not necessarily that in the article, when she starts referencing the tax filings of this group, she links the tax filings for 2020 when talking about that, forgets to link the one for 2022, which is where her group that she's associated with received money, and then incorrectly linked to 2023. It's none of that. It's the fact that this barely makes any note or criticism that Republicans have been using dark money to massively disproportionately higher degrees than Democrats have historically forever, and that Democrats have tried to restrict dark money usage and ban it when Republicans have not, until the end where she lightly brings up the Tenet Media, the massive dark money scandal that was paying people like Tim Pool to regurgitate shit in defense of Russia. But it's almost like this article's entire primary was just to shit on like establishment Democrats, which are definitely flawed. I understand that, while barely handle Republicans at all. In all honesty, to me, this feels like this feels like some kind of a MAGA psyop. It seems like she's it seems like she's pretending to be left leaning so that she could fucking destroy the party from the inside. It's so strange, dude. I don't know. As far as dark money, I think it's sketchy as fuck, but if Republicans aren't going to ban the fucking dark money, then you know what? Democrats are going to have to use it. The same way that Republicans are fucking gerrymandering states mid-decade instead of using instead of trying to ban that. You're going to have to play a little bit of fucking dirty. I don't know what else to tell you. So, Let's watch. Let's start watching her talk about this though. Let's start with this.
A powerful liberal dark money group is secretly funding some of the biggest Democratic influencers on the internet. After the Democrats lost last November, the party faced a reckoning. It was clear that they had failed to successfully navigate the
Papa got her investigation was specifically about Democrat dark money. Why would she talk about something outside the scope of the article? Kathy, I love you. Whatever you just said was so fucking stupid. Her investigation was specifically about Democrat dark money. How is talking about Republicans' usage of dark money to massively, disproportionately higher rates, as well as the fact that Democrats are the only party that have tried to implement restrictions on dark money, how is that outside the scope of her article? I'm really not I'm not understanding. How was that outside the scope of her article? I want you to explain that to me. And if it was, then why did she lightly mention it at the end? What you're asking me doesn't make any sense. Taylor Lorenz, despite looking really like an idiot here in this specific frame, is not a stupid person. What she did, I don't think is unreasonable to believe was intentional. This is the, I need you people to understand something. This is the new Democrat virtue signal, is to sit here and absolutely shit yourself and melt down about the way that Democrats have handled everything and disproportionately shit all over like Joe Biden while lightly tapping Trump with a fucking feather boa. This is what coward fuck Democrats do. They don't go like, yeah, we could have been better, but like, you know, Trump is still shit. What they love to do is sit here and overly pine about like how terrible Democrats are while leaving out relevant information about how Republicans are worse. And Taylor Lorenz is part of that structure. She's a fucking coward. That's part of the structure. I need you guys to understand this. And that's what this article is. All right, let's continue. Let me just restart this fucking video.
A powerful liberal dark money group is secretly funding some of the biggest Democratic influencers on the internet. After the Democrats lost last November, the party faced a reckoning. It was clear that they had failed to successfully navigate the new media landscape. While Republicans have spent decades building a powerful independent media ecosystem, the Democrats have largely relied on outdated strategies and
Bro, wait, why wouldn't you... Hold on.
Traditional media. But last month...
Is she gonna go fucking crickets on this TikTok promoting this article too? About how Democrats have used dark money massively disproportionately to excuse me. Is she gonna go fucking crickets in this too? Talking about and not talk about how Republicans have massively disproportionately used dark money as opposed to Democrats who have tried to implement restrictions on dark money usage? Is she not even going to bring there's no way that she's fucking, there's no way that she's this obvious of a fucking psyop here.
A covert new program aimed at bolstering Democratic support on the internet began rolling out. The 1630 Fund, a dark money group, is working with
dark money group, that a group she's associated with got money from.
Chorus, a liberal influencer collective, to secretly pay pro-Democrat online influencers up to $8,000 a month. The influencers have to attend regular messaging.
Oh my god, she's not going to talk about it. She's not going. She's such a fucking worm.
But the program is being run in secret. According to contracts viewed by Wired, the influencers would be kicked out for even speaking about it.
Okay.
Influencers included in
like dark money is shitty, but like Republicans use it all the time, so Democrats are starting to finally use it. Can you bring that context up into your little fucking clip here?
Communication and an onboarding session for those receiving payment from the 1630 Fund include Olivia Juliana, the centrist Gen Z influencer who spoke at the DNC last...
The centrist, that's a slur from her community, just to be clear.
...summer. Barrett Adair, a content creator who runs an American Girl doll-themed pro-DNC meme account. Suzanne Lambert, who has called herself a Regina George liberal.
We're
Erin
not going to get it.
Who has been called the Gen Z Walter Cronkite, and dozens of others. The whole thing raises questions about independent media funding, non-disclosures on political content, and standards surrounding ethics and transparency in the content creator industry.
Bro, I love this. This is so funny.
Head over to Wired to read my full story.
Bro, this is horrible, because even in her full story, she lightly references Russian fucking dark money going into tenant media to go to people like Tim Pool to push Russian disinformation. But she doesn't bring up that historically Republicans have used dark money disproportionately higher, or that Democrats have tried to restrict it. Nothing at all. Fucking crickets. Dude, I'm telling you, this is the new strategy. This is the new coward cuck fuck strategy from coward fuck people on the left. They like to do this game where they overly criticize Democrats, which, by the way, you should criticize, while despite the fact that it's relevant, completely ignoring criticism of Republicans, because that's their new in. Their new in strategy is to play this coward fucking game where they're like, guys, I know that like the current administration is stripping freedoms. I know that they use dark money more. I know that they absolutely refuse to fucking put any restrictions on it, despite the fact that Democrats tried to. But we're not really going to talk about that. We're just going to talk about how the Democrats are starting to engage in the same shitty tactics. That's crazy. That's coward. That's some loser shit. Taylor Lorenz is a fucking loser. Okay, we gotta see what more of these are. We gotta watch more of this shit. This is fucking pathetic.
Since my article came out yesterday about the 1630 fund funding a bunch of these Democratic influencers through
Oh my god.
the secret program, a bunch of these influencers have spread just the most absurd lies sort of in response, which I think is quite revealing. I think that sort of speaks to
What lie have they pushed?
their transparency and commitment to the truth. But I just want to clear some things up. So some of these creators have said, well, I never hid my affiliation with Chorus. Here I am right here on the Chorus website. No one is arguing that. I've reported on these people's affiliations with Chorus. I've written about Chorus even prior to this article. The point is that none of them disclosed that they were receiving money from a dark money group, the 1630 fund. None of them have ever
Well, they couldn't. Did your group do that? Or
disclosed, as far as I've ever seen,
did your media group? Oh no, because it went through a different company that went to you guys. Okay.
their relationship with the 1630 fund. And that is the crux of it. Chorus is just the middleman. They're just running the program. The 1630 fund is the powerful dark money group that is funding this effort. And so if you see these people online saying, well, this was never a secret, I always disclosed it, please point me to where they've ever said that they were receiving payments from the 1630 fund. When we went,
this is the problem with this. What happened? CNN and all of them fucked up. They're still. I mean, like they're fucking assholes that sensationalize everything, and then they lead way to the rise of alternative media information, like this fucking moron Taylor. Holy shit!
through and looked at these contracts, the stipulations in the contract
Jesus Christ.
very clear that creators cannot disclose the identity of their funder, the 1630 fund. And actually, after I started reporting my article as well, creators were told that they were not allowed to speak to me, they were not allowed to speak to the press, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't know.
Oh, to you specifically, or just the press, and you decided to speak to me to make it seem like you were more important than you actually are?
What to tell these people other than you were not open and transparent about the fact that you were receiving money from a dark money fund, or that you were part of a scheme, a program run by this dark money group.
A scheme? Dude, she's really trying hard on this one. A scheme. A scheme. Oh, the same scheme that Republicans have been using forever. Yes, of course. Give me your dark money.
And I think that is the problem here. Dark money in politics is a huge problem. It's been a significant problem on the right for years, and I've covered that as well.
I've covered that as well. I didn't really cover it this time, but I also covered that. This is called plausible deniability language. I'm going to lightly reference this huge major problem that is the reason why Democrats are even doing it in the first place. Guys, see, I talked about it. I talked about it. Hey guys, your kid was acting really. Hey guys, I'm a preschool guy. I have a preschool. Your kid was acting really rambunctious. He's running around, coloring on the walls, pissing and shitting everywhere, spitting on the other teachers. By the way, the teacher walked in and pushed him on the ground in the beginning of the day, but that doesn't matter. I'm just gonna lightly reference that with low energy towards the after I feel like I have to make it seem like I'm an objective journalist. Hey guys, shut the fuck up. You're so transparent. It's fucking pathetic.
But as somebody else put it online, Democrats also using sort of dark money, shady tactics that are described in our story as unethical. That doesn't help the problem. That's like fighting fire with more fire. Like,
wow. Oh, did you come up with that yourself? What the fuck?
Pouring fire onto the fire.
Really?
It doesn't bring transparency to our political system. It doesn't engender trust in independent media.
Yes,
and also, I'll just
put that all on the Democrats, guys.
clear up something else, is that these people have accused me of taking dark money. Nothing could be. I've never taken money from any sort of dark money group.
Not you specifically, but you guys. Why? So if that's not true, like, why did you hide it then? Why did you link the 2020 tax forms where they didn't give money to that group that you're associated with? Like, why'd you put that one up, but then you didn't put up 2023 when you talked about that? Or 2022's tax forms, that was the right one. You didn't put that one up. How come you didn't show, like, why didn't you link the tax form then? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Ever.
By the way, Taylor, just so you know, we literally do fight fire with fire. I don't know if you know this, but you're supposed to do control the burns inside of forests to get rid of debris so a larger fire doesn't erupt. I don't know if you know this. So fighting fire with fire, quite literally, is it something that we do sometimes, depending on the context of the situation. This seems like the context. Oh, I don't know what to tell you.
Forever. I'm on a Omidyar Network Reporters in Residence program right now. Omidyar Network is not a dark money group. What are you talking about? This is a...
They're not a dark money group. They got money from a dark money group. The same... They got from the 1630 fund. What are you talking about? What?
Reporting fund that is not dark money because there's a level of transparency to it. And
oh, just a level? Which level? Level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? What?
Whereas these dark money groups are not subject to the same levels of transparency. So,
they're not, but didn't they still also tell you where they got who they gave money to?
So it's very sad to see these influencers lashing out, but as they say, a hit dog hollers or whatever. Clearly they feel put on blast. But let's be honest here, and let's all work towards getting dark money out of politics.
You're not trying to do that. You're trying to play fucking coward cuck bullshit. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. We got another one.
Since my article came out yesterday.
Is this another? Oh, we already watched that one. Sorry, guys. I'm stupid as fuck.
Influencers in my story are so desperate. Influencers in my story are so desperate, and they cannot stop making up just bold-faced lies. So first of all, since my story came out about 90 liberal influencers accepting money from the 1630 Fund, a notorious liberal dark money group.
That you... What? Yeah. A group you associate with got money from that too. What the fuck? What are you talking about?
From this exact same fund, the 1630 fund, which funds your cohort that you are accepting, get this audience, $8,000 a month from. Isn't that fucking crazy? Here it is, right here. This is the place that pays you 1630. That's you accepting dark money, right? I'm sure.
That's your group accepting dark money. She's tied with it.
They have tried to claim that I somehow am accepting money from a dark money group. This is absurd. I mean, it's just patently absurd.
No, it's not. And it's if you read through her article, you could see the way that she like disingenuously portrays the information to try to hide. She references 3 years. In her article, she references 3 years. 2020, 2022, and 2023. When she references these 3 years, for 2020, she links directly to the tax filing. 2022, she doesn't put any link. And in 2023, she gives the wrong link. Instead of the tax filing, she said like she links it to like fucking Politico or something. So it's like very strange. Like, why would you not give the filing for 2022? And also, why would you get the wrong link for 2023 unless there's more that you're trying to hide? It doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. There's something deeply deceptive about this person. Okay?
They've never once accepted money from any sort of political group, much less a political dark money group. They're trying to claim that the Omidyar Network, which I'm paid for as part of this reporting fellowship that I'm doing, is somehow like some conflict of interest. The Omidyar Network is an LLC. It's not a dark money group. It's not political.
Nobody's claiming that it is. They're claiming that it gets money from got money from a dark money group.
Nonpartisan, and I'm being paid as part of a reporting fellowship. It has nothing to do with politics. I also disclosed that I was getting payments from Omidyar. The minute that I got into that program, I posted about it and posted about I was proud to be accepted to it. You can go on the website and look up the information.
Nobody's claiming that.
The reality is that these influencers accepted dark money. They accepted money from a dark money fund, and then they didn't disclose it.
All she would have had to do, she's intentionally ignoring the context. All she would have had to do is be like, I didn't know that. And I don't have any contract with Chorus about what I am and am not allowed to talk about. She can't even do that. She can't even say things like that. If she had just said, like, I didn't, which by the way, I wouldn't even believe her, but I didn't even realize that the network that I'm working for had received money from the same dark money group that I'm complaining about. I didn't realize that. I have no I have no engagements or restrictions on what I can and cannot talk about, et cetera, et cetera. At least it would have made her seem transparent. She refuses, though, to even acknowledge that her group got money. She's not even saying that it got money. She's trying to redirect the conversation and make it seem like she's responding. Oh, the Omidyar group isn't a dark money group. Nobody is claiming that. They're claiming that they got money from a dark money group. She knows what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. How long do you think the Hassan defense is going to last, where you just lie about shit that happens? I don't really understand. You're sitting here shitting on dark money while engaging in the same Hassan tactics of literally lying about what's in front of all of our faces. Like, how long do you can't criticize dark money for being dishonest and shady and then engage in dishonest, shady tactics and expect people to believe you. They're not going to believe you. What?
I didn't accept money from a dark money fund, and I did disclose where my money comes from. So it's just very silly for them to keep claiming this. There's absolutely no basis to any of these things. And Wired, where I wrote this for, is an organization that has very strict editorial standards. If I had any financial ties to Chorus or the 1630 Fund, I would have to disclose that in the article. That would be disclosed in the article, obviously. But of course, I
well, you're so trustworthy that I believe you.
Don't have any financial ties to either of those groups. And what these people also don't seem to kind of understand is why.
Then why didn't you link the tax filing inside of your article? When you linked the other tax filings in your article, that doesn't make any sense to me.
You guys are trying to argue that somehow the 1630 Fund also pays me. First of all, they don't. They fucking hate me. Why would they pay me? Why would they pay a journalist that's not a Democrat and that's criticizing them? Like, just none of it makes sense. And it's just the desperate flailing of content creators that are feeling called out because I wrote an article talking about accepting dark money and not disclosing it. And ultimately, that's what I have a problem with in this system. I have a problem with all the dark money in this political system and the lack.
It's because she doesn't like black guys. Come on, racism much? Dark money?
Of disclosure in the influencer space.
You think that they stopped paying her, so she did this? Maybe. That's possible. It's possible. Maybe they stopped giving her money, so she decided to do this.
The political influencer space. So I don't care that these influencers are like, well, I was never given a specific script to, of what to say. Okay, but you signed up for this politically driven, you're taking money from a politically driven dark money organization. You didn't disclose it. You were attending regular messaging check-ins. It's just not a good look. And I think if you want to, be transparent and sort of engage in political commentary online, you should be transparent about where your money is coming from.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Taylor Lorenz. You're so smart. Thanks so much. I love how she's putting these out to virtually no views.
This article. The point is
like compared to it's so funny. Why even respond to these? I don't know. She's trying to do this thing where she's a journalist but also a content creator. It's so pathetic. She's a journalist but she desperately wants to be a content creator.
That none of them disclosed that.
I'm actually shocked how ignorant and stupid these people are. They continue to claim that the Omidyar network, which is a big network, is being funded by 1630. Not only is it not, but I am in a reporting fellowship that is.
Dude, I don't know what else to tell you. This guy shows it on the screen.
Fucking right here.
What are you talking about? This guy shows it on the screen. This guy shows it on the screen. When you go through your own fucking article, you refuse to show the year that he shows on the screen of money that was given. Like, this is the funniest part of all here. She references the public tax filings of this organization from 2020. She puts it on the screen. She references the public tax, or she references the, excuse me, let me be more specific. She references the amount of money they distributed in 2020 and then puts the public tax filings on the screen. She references the amount of money that they raised in 2022 and then doesn't put the tax filings on the screen because the tax filings are this that shows that the network that she works for or works with got dark money from the same thing that she's criticizing. And then she references the amount of money they raised in 2023, and then when you look at the tax filing, it comes up to a political article instead of the actual tax filing, all of which are publicly available. See, here's 2020, here's 2022, and here's 2023. All right here. But she conveniently was only able to link one of them. And the fact that she gave us the wrong link for 2022 suggests to me that there's something else going on in that 2023 article, or excuse me, the 2023. Like, there's something else there that I don't know. There's something else there. I don't know.
Is an LLC that is completely separate from even the organization, the nonprofit organization of the Omidyar Network. The LLC that I'm part of has not accepted any money from the 1630 Fund ever in any capacity.
We just started the fucking screen. What? Are you fucking crazy? Is she fucking crazy? Is she fucking crazy?
Any money from the 1630 Fund ever in any capacity. The LLC that I'm part of has not accepted any money from the 1630 Fund ever in any capacity. The Omidyar Network is also not a dark money group.
Omidyar Network Services LLC. What are you talking about? It's right. It's fucking right here, idiot. What is she talking? Dude, I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. If there was some kind of miscommunication or misconception, maybe she didn't realize that the group got dark money or anything or blah blah blah. She could have just said that, but she's like pretending that the fucking 2022 tax filings that she refused to link doesn't exist. This is weird. She's a fucking lying freak. What the fuck?
At all in any capacity. It's an open group where I can say, like, I'm part of this this Reporters in Residence program that I promoted immediately when it's out. You guys are just lying. And you found some weird receipt from I think 2020 of a $45,000 donation from the 1630 Fund to some organization within the Omidyar Network that's not the Reporters in Residence program.
Okay, so it did go. So some weird receipt You mean the fucking public tax filings from 2022? That's the weird receipt? You showed us the weird receipt of 2020. Why the fuck? How is it now? So it's not weird when you show us 2020s, but it is weird when you show us when people reference 2022. And it is actually to Omidyar, but just not associated with you. How does your brain work?
And now you're like on TikTok just trying to make shit up. It's shocking how stupid.
Guys, it was just a receipt.
You guys are. And here's the thing that's so crazy. The 1630 fund fucking...
It was the same receipt that fucking Rampage Jackson's son gave that guy. So, I don't know, man.
hates me, okay? Like, I don't know why they would fund me. You know, I'm also not involved in any political efforts. The Reporters in Residence program is a nonpartisan reporting program. It has nothing to do with politics. But even if 1630 was giving me $1 million, say they gave me $1 million, that doesn't make it okay for 90 Democrat influencers to accept dark money and not disclose it.
By that logic, you wouldn't have disclosed it. Oh my god!
In any capacity, in any capacity, it just doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, you're lying in your video, and I know that you use this like intonation that makes people trust you because you're an influencer. But this is exactly the problem with people getting their news from influencers.
Bro, oh my dude, this woman is such a stupid bitch. She is so desperate to be an influencer. I have never seen a journalist write a fucking article and then so vehemently defend it as a influencer in this way. She's constantly trying to position herself as an influencer. Always. She wants to be. She has fucking YouTube videos. She wants to be a fucking influencer. So she wants to be an influencer until she wants to criticize influencers. And now influencers are just dishonest pieces of shit. But your best fucking friend is Hassan Piker, a fucking influencer. So which one is it? Which one is it? What the fuck is happening? This is fucking insane. This is fucking preposterous to me. She is such a stupid, fucking dishonest idiot. You have to be at a very specific level of fucking just unintelligence to feel like you're intelligent enough to talk the way she talks confidently enough, despite the fact that every single fucking video she's made about this so far has just been another fucking lie. It's insane. Like there's got to be a special class of intellect where you're not stupid, but you're smart enough to think you're smarter than you are and to construct and form a sentence in an article, but you're still actually very fucking stupid at the same time somehow enough to just lie and expect to think that we're stupid enough to fucking believe it. Okay, just to be clear, I know this is Hassan Piker's strategy, is to confidently lie, but just to be absolutely fucking clear, I don't do it because I'm ugly. Taylor, you can't do it because you're ugly, okay? We don't get to sit here and lie confidently about things like Hassan does. Hassan is an attractive guy. He can get away with it. He's got the halo effect. Let's be frank, most of his enemies are fucking degenerate fucks anyway. Okay? But, like, you are not attractive enough to get penis from Hassan Piker like you want, and you're not attractive enough to lie confidently like Hassan. I don't know what else to tell you, okay? So, we can't do it. We don't get to do it. We have to try to be honest, or we could be Taylor Lorenz. One of those two. I don't know what else to tell you. This content strategy will not work for you as you try to desperately become a content creator as you're pushing 50 years old. I don't know what else to fucking tell you. What are you doing? I fucking hate it when it's older people that lie in like this, like on the fucking internet like this, because like you should be setting a higher standard. Jesus Christ. Sorry guys, she's just 41. Okay. But okay, you keep doing you. You can fucking destroy your credibility as much as you want, I guess. I guess I don't care. Was this the one we just watched? I think it was. It's fucking horrible dog shit.
The Reporters in
like how she laughs.
The politics space has been kind of messy today because of this article.
Okay, so it seems like all these influencers are just gonna lie. They're just gonna lie. At the end of that video, that
lying.
girl goes, and she doesn't disclose that she's receiving payment from the exact same groups or something. What the hell are you talking about? I am not receiving payment from the 1630 fund. Never have. And not.
Well, never have. Just saying no works a lot, guys.
The politics space has been
no means no, guys. No means no. I don't even know if I want to watch this person's article because it doesn't really matter.
kind of messy today because of this article that came out from Wired by Taylor Lorenz, or Lorenz, I'm not sure. So the article claims that some of the biggest progressive content creators, many of whom you follow and I follow, Suzanne Lambert, Aaron Parnas, Booker Squared, are being funded by a secret dark money group that controls their content, doesn't let them interview members of Congress without approval, and doesn't let them disclose the funding. Yeah, all of that turns out to be BS. I mean, Elizabeth Booker is putting up screenshots of her contract, and it turns out that Taylor just doesn't know how to read the contract, which makes sense because her background is in tech journalism. She doesn't have a political background.
Well, wait a minute.
She doesn't know how to read.
This was her smoking gun. The fact that she didn't know the difference between publicize versus disclose. Notice how even this clause difference between the two. First of all, she blocked me on Blue Sky, so I couldn't see the debunk it. Second, this is hold on a second. I have to find that. I can't find the original post. I must be just fucking stupid or something.
Contract, which makes sense because her background is in tech journalism. She doesn't have a political background. The group called Chorus, which I'm not affiliated with in any way, just put that out there, does not control who these creators interview in any way. And it's actually a little bit insulting. I work very hard, so I have sympathy for this, but I work very hard to create and maintain those connections with members of Congress to get your questions to your representatives, and I know Elizabeth does the same thing. So it is a little bit insulting. Ariella, who does daily...
Well, they don't fully control. They just have to be vetted through based on her article. Are we saying that Taylor sensationalized it? First of all, she blocked me on Blue Sky. Second, this is why we cannot handle publicity on behalf of Chorus, i.e. speaking the press and Chorus behalf without permission. Not that we cannot tell people we are part of Chorus. This is truly a heinous part. Okay. Oh, it says this says that we cannot handle publicly on behalf of Chorus. Okay, so this is all it says is that they can't say okay, apparently it just says that the influencers can't say that they're working with on behalf of Chorus when doing interviews unless the Chorus says they can. Taylor shit posts more than anybody else I've ever seen. Least professional person ever.
There are trainings 3 times a week, twice a week, kind of teaching. Some of them are kind of funny, like teaching them how to do skits on YouTube. And the idea that it's not disclosed just isn't true. Like Elizabeth has it in her link tree. But even aside from that, the idea that you have to disclose that you're part of a fellowship cohort that doesn't have any control of your content doesn't make any sense. The reason that I'm commenting on this at all, even though I've never met any of these people, and I'm not associated with Chorus, is because I feel quite defensive of that. Like Elizabeth Booker is at the Heritage Foundation on Mondays with a bullhorn screaming at them and making their lives miserable. She is being a menace. Suzanne was just at protests with veterans at Union Station. Like these are women, the women especially, are like out in the streets with their bodies doing the work of resisting the administration. And then they're getting criticized by people on the internet who haven't left their houses since November of last year. Really, really bothers me. Also, Taylor, who wrote that article, is paid by one of the same companies associated with the one that's paying the influencers for their fellowships. And she doesn't disclose it anywhere. The fact that we complain constantly that we have no Joe Rogan of the left, while people are getting paid to be trained to do that thing and are being pretty successful at it, and now we're complaining about that as well, it's driving me a little nuts. Taylor separated from the Washington Post and Vox within
All right. Let's continue with this.
months of each other last.
Not even remotely affiliated with them in any way. The Omidyar Network, where I do my reporting fellowship, is nonpartisan, it's non-political, and it's an
But again, you got that they got money from the fucking 1630, so
LLC that has never, and quote me, never received any funding from the 1630 Fund or Chorus. Like literally, what
yes, they did. What are you talking about?
are you guys talking about? You are just
They're referencing the literal fucking 2020 tax filings.
making nonsense up and smearing me because I wrote a story that you don't like, because it criticized some of your Democrat faves. I'm not a Democrat either. Why would the 1630 Fund fund me? Like, it's delusional. Your whole theory is delusional.
They didn't fund you. They funded the group you worked with.
I'm reporting critically on them. They fucking hate me. It's just so stupid, and it just shows how when
All right, she's just gonna say no, but I want to get through this.
people see
She's
or read
so
an article that they don't
boring.
like from a journalist, they just lie. They just get on TikTok and lie to millions of people potentially, and
She's so boring too.
millions of people on this app, as I've written about so many times, believe these lies, and it's horrible. It's corrosive to journalism. It's really awful, and I wish that
Yeah, we get it.
all of you guys would
You're
get some
fucking
media literacy.
Great. You don't have media literacy, guys. It's your fault. Let's see what we got here.
I knew those creators were getting paid by the DNC. Let me see that. Here it is. It says,
I'm shocked at how stupid these people are, with all due respect to this lady. But first of all, Chorus updated their website today multiple times. They're drastically updating their website to try to mitigate the fallout. I have the pitch decks for the program. I have the pitch decks for Chorus. I have all of the pitch decks. They are described as, in the New York Times article about Chorus when they launched, Brian Tyler Cohen is talking about it as this like remedy to democratic messaging. It's very much a Democrat project.
I am boring too.
Also, it is a project of the 1630 Fund, a dark money group, according to the contract that we have. We have multiple copies of the contract. So this idea that like, oh, Chorus is just a nonpartisan like incubator for all creators. What are you talking about? It exists specifically per their own language to push Democrat messaging. Now, is that the same as the DNC? No, it's not. The DNC, we don't say that in the article either. But like, please stop falling for this ridiculous stuff and read the article and realize that just because the company updates the website, today, that doesn't change any of the facts of the article. Please just read the article. You guys, I know there's a paywall. There's ways to get around the paywall, but for God's sake, like, please use some critical thinking. Use some critical thinking. Also, one other thing. They keep saying Chorus. We're talking about the 1630 Fund. That's what we're talking about. The 1630 Fund is a dark money group. They are the ones, Chorus is a project of the 1630 Fund. But the money.
We get it. Okay, what's the last thing that she responds to? This is so fucking boring. Holy shit.
Anyone claiming that I or the reporting fellowship that I'm in is currently receiving dark money is lying through their teeth.
Nobody's saying currently.
Lying through their
They said that you received it in 2022, the group you work with. They're saying that you received it in 2022. We encourage proactive discourse of our funding relationship with content creators, creative media outlets, and journalists, and our reporters and residents. Maintain complete editorial independence in their work. This commitment is evident in reporting, which may include critiques of our work, blah, blah, blah. Ometeor Network receives no funding for the reporters in residence programs via the 1630 fund or other outside sources. So just to be clear, this isn't saying that they never got any money from the 1630 fund. It's saying that they're not getting funding from the 1630 fund or have never gotten some money from the 1630 fund explicitly for the reporters inside of the residence program. This is lawyer talk. Just to be clear, this is just lawyer talk.
I'm currently in the Ometeor
Taylor Lorenz and whatever, some other people will spend their time next 6 months reporting on the emerging rules, institutions, norms, people, and narratives shaping our technology. What does that have to do with anything?
Network's Reporters in Residence program. It's a nonpartisan, non-political journalism program to support independent journalists. A bunch of cloud-chasing influencers on here have gotten and completely lied and said that the Reporters in Residence program at Ometeor is also funded by the 1630 fund. This could not be further from the truth. It is just a bold-faced lie. And
they didn't say you're getting fun. Okay. They were just saying that you have like a tie to it in some capacity.
now the Ometeor Network has actually came out and put out a statement making it clear that this is completely false. Apparently there's a massive group chat where all of these influencers are coordinating their smear campaign against me, and this is where this initial lie emerged. An influencer that has a personal beef with me appears to have used ChatGPT to try to find out information and pull completely ridiculous screenshots, which she's radically misinterpreted because she never even reached out to Ometeor for comment. And then she just ran with it and spread it. And
she looked at the 2022 tax filing, the 990 form from 1630 fund. This isn't like a magical entity that doesn't exist. It's the literal tax filing from them.
Even sent it to other journalists. You can even see the ChatGPT right here in the URL. Anyway,
who the fuck cares about ChatGPT? What?
Here in the URL. Anyway, here again are the receipts. You can go to the Ometeor Foundation's website where they have released a full statement making it very clear that I have never received any dark money from the 1630 fund or elsewhere. I have never taken any money from any political group ever. I always disclose the sources of my funding, and a lot of influencers on this app cannot say the same.
So just to be absolutely clear, Taylor Lorenz will never be the content creator she wants to be because she cannot handle criticism. She's made like 10 videos that are just saying the same thing over and over again. She looks pathetic. She looks desperate. She looks tired. But honestly, this is probably what she looks like on the best day. So I guess, I mean, there's one last thing to take a look at. This David Pakman made a response.
All right, I was not even going to talk about this because I hate participating in the drama. I hate the circular firing squad that often builds on the left. But it's really important that my audience know what's going on. So
it does seem like what it is.
I am going to talk about it. I was named in an article in Wired yesterday, and the article is about a so-called dark money group on the left called Chorus. And I'm named in the article along with other creators as being part of the group. And since this article came out, I've heard from a bunch of you. David, did you sell out? David, is the DNC telling you what to say? How could you do this to us? I knew back in 2021 when you had the following to say that you must have been getting paid by someone, and here's the proof. And I was not even going to give this the time of day, but my relationship with you, my actual audience, is the most important thing. And so I decided to do this segment. I also was told that other creators, like a Twitch streamer named Hassan Piker, were covering this in ways that don't reflect the reality of the situation and are perpetuating falsehoods about what is and isn't going on. Now,
well, I have no interest in watching Hassan Piker's commentary on this. I'm so fucking bored of Hassan. But I guarantee you, I saw a bit of the beginning of where he starts talking about it on his stream, and he pretty much he really just says that Taylor Lorenz is amazing. So I could not imagine him giving her any meaningful pushback at all about this. That's really not what it's about. Hassan has made it pretty clear that like if he has a particular narrative he wants to push, he will just push it, and he will confidently lie to people about whatever he wants you to think about whatever he has to say. He wants to push Taylor Lorenz. I doubt he's going to give any level of criticism to it. So
I can't speak to the motives of the people that wrote the article or those that are reacting to it. I can't get in their heads. All I can do is tell you what's going on. And then you can judge and you can make an assessment of me. Now, I also want to mention, I'm aware that many of the people I'm hearing of aren't even part of my audience. They're doing well, now I'm unsubscribing, and they mostly were never subscribed. And so I'm aware of that, but it doesn't matter because I want to make sure my audience hears from me about this. Now, the most important thing to say is that the idea behind this group is exactly what I've been advocating for years. For years I've been saying the left needs to organize independent media in the way that the right has been doing. The left needs to fund independent creators the way that the right does. The right has won even arguably presidential elections because they're organized with regard to online and independent media. They're killing us. We've been so behind.
Okay,
and this
fair.
kind of support for creators is exactly what I've been advocating for. Now, the article is riddled with inaccuracies, and they're not minor inaccuracies. First and foremost, this group has nothing to do with the DNC. People writing saying, the Democratic Party is telling people what to say. At its base, the group has nothing to do with the DNC, period. Number two, I do not get clearance for anything I say. I do not run interview questions by anyone at Chorus. I don't tell Chorus when I'm going to be doing an interview. Not a single segment I have done, not a single question I've ever asked a guest has anything to do with Chorus. They don't tell me what to talk about. They don't tell me who to interview. They don't tell me how to cover a story. There are no restrictions of any kind on my content. I've never covered a story because Chorus...
What is her source that there are restrictions on this content? I'm like really concerned. I'm really confused, and I'm like actually really curious about that.
Chorus suggested I do it. I've never not covered a story because Chorus suggested I not do it.
I'm actually very curious about that.
There is no content relationship of any kind. So what does Chorus do? They run technical trainings, how to produce content, how to make your operation more efficient, how do you take a small shop of 1, 2, or 3 people and put content out on multiple platforms the way I've been doing successfully for decades. They set up mentorship relationships between larger creators like me and small up-and-coming creators who are looking to do content, which is something I've said for years we need to be doing. They do advocacy trainings. They do media trainings. How do you deal with adversarial media? Reporters with bad intentions who contact you. They do legal training, so we understand how is the right-wing machine potentially going to come.
I like that one. That's why Taylor doesn't like it.
Adversarial media. Reporters with bad intentions who contact you.
That's what they're doing. So they were educating people on how not to talk to Taylor Lorenz. The person, by the way, who's been very open about the fact that she has talked to child influencers desperate to not have their parents involved. I just want to be very clear.
They do legal training, so we understand how is the right-wing machine potentially going to come after us? How do you organize your business to be protected? That's what they do. And I want to make this really clear, and I know that 99% of my actual audience knows this. If this was a group or an organization that required me to get permission before saying things, or fed me talking points, or told me, David, talk about this and not about that, or anything like that, I would never be part of it, period. Anyone who knows me would know that. Now, I'm one of the larger creators in the current cohort. I want to help others grow. I want to mentor people. I want to grow the left media space. That's something I've been advocating for years. And now the circular firing squad is getting going. You look at TikTok, you look at these different platforms, people going after each other, most of it based on misunderstandings or misreporting about what's happening. Now, let me go to another aspect of it.
Well, yeah, because Taylor Lorenz is a fucking piece of shit.
I've seen messages like, oh, David, when you said X in 2024, that must have been because they told you to. Oh, David, this explains your take on Bolivia from 2017. Now I get why you said that. Or when you did that interview in 2022, it must have been because Chorus told you to. Even if you wrongly believed that I was now completely compromised by my participation in this group, this thing is brand new. It's like 8 weeks old or something like that, maybe 10 weeks old, something like this. So the revisionism of going back and going, now I understand why David, not only are they not directing content today, this thing is brand new. So that's just like impossible. One other thing I want to mention. The article identifies.
Oh, is it that new? Okay. That makes sense if they were looking for people like in the spring of this year.
My friend Brian Tyler Cohen as the co-founder of this group. And now he's being attacked as well. His motives being impugned. Brian worked on this as a volunteer. He has spent hundreds of hours for not a penny on this project, solely because he, like me, believes we need this type of organization on the left. They're killing us on the right. He doesn't need to be doing this for himself. He's trying to do this to build up left-wing content creators, as am I. And so the framing of Brian as some kind of villain in this entire thing is just farcical and pathetic. So the bottom line is, we need more of this on the left, not less. We need more organization and infrastructure and people understanding how do you build a content machine? How do you produce a podcast? How do you grow an audience? How do you distribute it? How do you organize your day? What's your YouTube setup like? The article is designed to attack and degrade. I can't speak to the motives of the people behind it, so I won't even speculate. My involvement is...
I will.
as I've described it here. There's nothing more and there's nothing less. It's up to you to decide whether you trust a particular creator. It's up to you to decide what sort of structural organization the left should pursue. But what I can tell you is that the circular firing squad is how the left loses, when we start turning each other over what at the end of the day. So I'm sick of the losing. I'm trying to win. Join me if you also are trying to win. And then maybe we can have some better outcomes in future elections.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's fine. Sure. Cool. End segment. Yeah, like I said, the biggest issue is that Taylor barely brings up the fact, well, Taylor never brings up the fact that Republicans do this tactic of dark money exponentially greater rates than Democrats. She doesn't bring that up, or that they tried to ban it. She brings up like one instance of dark money in her article from Republicans. So great stuff.